There's no doubt about it. Chromebooks are an integral part of our children's educational experience. And for our impact evaluation, we know that those devices make a huge difference. One aspect of that is the read and write toolbar on a Chromebook. This adds on the accessibility tools that are already built into the Chromebook, but it provides a whole new level of offer for our children. The ability to use those resources across the curriculum, the fact that this is a consistent tool and resource that children can have access to, works really, really nicely with the Chromebook environment that we work in. Children already have that seamless experience. They log into one device, they can log into another Chromebook device, their tabs follow them. And I think the fact that also those extensions, read and write follows them, I think is a really important scaffold. And for some of our children, something that actually reduces their anxiety and calms them, knowing that they've got access to that resource on the device and they can rely on that.
Read and write is a tool that goes across the top of your screen in almost any application. It's amazing because you can take an application that doesn't have any tools, any help, and you can use read and write to make it amazing. And it's an amazing palette of great tools to help my learning. It has things like dictionary, picture dictionary, so if you highlight a word and then you press dictionary, it'll tell you what that word means. But what I like more is the picture dictionary, because if you don't understand all the words it's using, you can use a picture dictionary to really visualise the word. And there's like Screen Master to chunk it into sections, and there's voice to text, which is amazing, and there's read aloud, which reads it aloud.
I really struggle with my spellings, it's my main priority to fix. So read and write just basically helps me understand how to spell it, pronounce it, and how it means. So now it's made me more confident in my spellings and made me feel really proud because I'm getting more spellings correct than ever.
I use text-to-speech, and if I'm using a tricky text, then text-to-speech reads it out to me, so I know how to pronounce words, and also I know what they mean in the context.
My favourite feature is the highlighter actually, because the highlighter is just really fun to use, because if you highlight something, you can click a button and it will transport you to a page. And also when you highlight something like a word you're not sure of, you can always see that word and come back to it.
Read and write has really helped me with writing. Without read and write, I would not be good at writing, I would still hate it. I would be begging not to go to school every day. It's really improved all of my writing because I can actually get it down so I can finish a piece of work.
One of the lovely examples that we've seen regularly across Leo classrooms is the intelligent use of screen masks within Read and Write. And these are where children who don't necessarily need to use those screen masks, but children are choosing to use them because it filters out as one child described it, the noise around the text, so they can really focus on the comprehension of what they're seeing and starting to really dig into the material that they're due to be focusing on. And of course, what does that do? It engages them more effectively with the material, with the content, the curriculum, the ideas, and enables them to really then develop the skills that that lesson objective is focusing on.
I first came across Read and Write around 3 years ago, and my first thought was, this would be a great tool for just a few words, a bit of vocabulary. It could just support a few SEN children. And then I quickly discovered that actually it's not just for the SEN children. We talk about being necessary for some, but it's definitely useful for all. And now we've progressed from, okay, so just using it for a few children, okay, it's used across the whole school for every single child, and they can choose when and where they want to use it.
I can distinctly remember the first time that I experienced Read and Write as a parent. When my child was in year 4, he had a teacher who was a cloud champion, who was really passionate about digital technology and really passionate about finding the right tools to support him on his learning journey. And I remember the day he came home when he'd written a 3-page piece of writing using the voice to text in Read and Write, and he was a completely different child. And it was that moment of us saying, this is going to work for him, he will do well.